Good afternoon. Please take your seats. Hello. To Dean Reed, our esteemed donors, distinguished guests, and all those gathered here today, welcome to the Georgia State College of Law 2024 Scholarship Donor and Recipient Recognition Luncheon. I am Patrice Williams. I'm the Director of Development and Alumni Relations, and it is an absolute honor to stand before you today in this space dedicated to honoring advocacy. The practice of law is rooted in advocacy, and my experience yesterday with our own Randy Hughes from the College of Law's Board of Visitors brought this to life for me. As he gave me a tour of the Atlanta Legal Aid Building, I was moved to tears hearing about the rich history of how the state of Georgia and the city of Atlanta have tirelessly fought for the underdogs, just as much as they fought for the champions. This is exactly what the Georgia State College of Law represents. I'm reminded of the wise words of Jill Ellis, the renowned coach of the Team USA women's soccer, who said, "Mountaintops are small and the air is thin." She continues by explaining that mountaintops are rented space and that the time we spend standing at the top should be brief. I believe that the rent we pay for the space on those mountaintops is to make the climb easier for those who are still fighting their way up. It is our duty to actively clear a path for those who will follow, reaching out a hand to lift them higher, embracing them as they arrive, and pushing them up when they intend to go even higher. This room that we're in today is a tangible commitment to that advocacy, and it represents a mountaintop for our donors, a space where we hope you feel seen, honored, celebrated, and valued for your investment and your faith in Georgia State College of Law. Dean Reed, our administration, our faculty and faculty emeriti, staff, and friends too are advocates, dedicating their days and often nights and weekends to ensuring that the next generation of lawyers are prepared for the careers that they've chosen. Our students, who out of all of the things in the world that they could have chosen to be, they chose a life of sacrifice, helping others reach their mountaintops, helping others receive justice. During our luncheon today, you will hear insightful perspectives from Dean Reed, firsthand accounts from the students whose lives you've impacted, a unique donor perspective from Beth Tanis, and concluding remarks from Cash Joseph, our Assistant VP of Development. Our hope is that you will spend time getting to know the scholarship recipients who share your table, building meaningful connections fostered through your generosity. Your choice to support the students is a testament to your commitment to advocacy. You are advocates for those who aspire to make a life advocating for others. Your support is the evidence of your faith that Georgia State University College of Law has the capacity and the aptitude to build some of the best lawyers our country will know. Welcome to the 2024 Scholarship Donor and Recipient Recognition Luncheon. May this event be a celebration of the impact that we make together in building a legacy of advocacy. First, we'll hear from Lucien Alupitan, who will provide a moment of thanksgiving, followed by meal service with the program proceeding from there as printed.
Good afternoon, Dean Reed, the Georgia State Law community, and most importantly, our esteemed donors. My name is Lucien Alupitan, a proud student of the GSU Law class of 2026, and the grateful recipient of the Health Law Endowed Scholarship. Today, I stand before you deeply honored and filled with gratitude for being selected as a beneficiary of this scholarship. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Professor Wolf for her generosity and support. My journey to this point has been anything but conventional. as a non-traditional student who spent several years working as a nurse. Getting to this point has given me numerous challenges. I am certain that many of my fellow recipients share similar sentiments. But today, I share that my heart no longer races due to a surgeon demanding a punctual surgical start, but rather in anticipation of a cold call in civil procedure. However, today, I don't solely speak for myself. I speak on behalf of every scholarship recipient in this room. The scholarships we've received go beyond mere financial assistance. They represent a beacon of opportunity and a belief in our potential to positively impact the world. This scholarship doesn't just recognize our past achievements, it is an investment in our futures, a call to action to urge us to strive for excellence and contribute meaningfully to both the university and our communities. As recipients, we bear the responsibility of honoring the trust placed in us by our benefactors. Throughout this academic journey, we commit to remembering the significance of curiosity, resilience, and a passion for learning. Alongside the privilege of receiving the scholarship comes the responsibility to give back. We as scholarship recipients are not passive recipients of knowledge, but stewards of the opportunities that education affords us. Our goal is to create a ripple effect of positive change in our communities. At this moment, I would like to ask that all donors rise. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, Dean Reed, Administration, Faculty, Faculty Emeriti, and staff of Georgia State Law, please rise. Without your tireless effort, we recognize that the investment of our donors would be futile. We extend our deepest thanks because you represent the heartbeat of our institution. And again, could everyone join me in a round of applause for them? Thank you. I eagerly anticipate the day when, as recipients, we will be in your positions, carrying forward the legacy of supporting and empowering the next generation of scholars, ensuring that the cycle of generosity and educational opportunity continues for years to come. You are the ones who have made this moment possible. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Joseph Rios, and I am a third-year law student here at GSU Law. After graduation, I plan to work at Drew Eckel and Farnham in one of their civil litigation practice groups. I'm also the recipient of the Ronald and Gwendolyn Freeman Family Scholarship. I want to take a brief moment to thank Judge Freeman and Mrs. Freeman for their generosity, which has given me the opportunity to expand my own legal horizons as a first-generation student. Now, I have the great honor of introducing someone truly remarkable, our very own Dean Reed. Before joining us in July 2021, Dean Reed first earned her JD from the University of Southern California and later served as a professor of law and associate provost at Syracuse University. Since first joining us in 2021, Dean Reed has been instrumental in shaping the direction of our institution. For example, Dean Reed has outlined 5 key principles to ensure GSU Law continues not only excelling academically, but also continues producing excellent students, recruiting and retaining the best of the best faculty, and fostering a supportive community. Those 5 guiding principles are 1, making law accessible, 2, keeping education affordable, 3, driving academic excellence, 4, celebrating professional achievements, and 5, promoting active engagement. My scholarship is a direct reflection on how law school has been made accessible and affordable for me, thus allowing me to focus on my academic, professional, and social achievements. As we express our appreciation for the leadership of Dean Reed, let us recognize the positive impact and inspiration she continues to have on our academic community. So, without any further delay, please help me welcome Dean Reed to stand.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Joseph, for that generous and wonderful introduction and for your remarks. We are so tremendously proud of all of the work that you are doing and that all of your classmates and peers are doing as well. Donors, students, alumni, faculty, staff, and guests, thank you so much for joining us for our annual 2024 Georgia State Law Scholarship Donor and Recipient Recognition Luncheon. This annual event is one of our favorites at the College of Law because we get the opportunity to express our deep appreciation for to our generous donors and celebrate our amazing student recipients who share different ways the gifts have impacted their lives and afforded them the opportunity to fulfill their dreams of pursuing a legal education and taking steps each day, inching their way towards their goals of making the world a better place in their chosen areas of expertise in the profession. As you heard from Lucien, you will hear from others later in the program, these scholarships made possible by our generous donors are much more than a financial gift that make access to law school affordable. They are transformative. They offer hope and opportunity to Georgia State law students to achieve academic and professional excellence, and they plant the seeds of understanding the importance of actively engaging with their soon-to-be law school alma mater through generous philanthropic giving. In 2023, your gifts have impacted 88 law students, and our endowments currently total $4,661,333. Let's pray. That's a big number, and we are here to make sure that it continues to grow. So thank you also to the development staff, Cass Joseph, Patrice Williams, from whom you heard earlier, Cass you will hear from later. They have built a wonderful staff who are working really, really hard to support our students, support our staff, support our faculty in all of the work that we are trying to do to improve the world, to make it a better place, and to support the students in their aspirations. This year, we are thrilled to announce 6 new endowments. 5 are from Georgia State Law alumni, and 1 is from a Georgia State Law staff member. Our gifts come from individuals who have a connection to the College of Law and believe in investing in this law school, and they share our commitment to investing in the next generation of legal professionals. This year's new endowments are as follows. Number 1, Arlissa E. Williams and Family Endowed Scholarship. 2, Javaris A. Gresham Scholarship. 3, Philip Jackson College of Law Scholarship. 4, Alex Patafio Public Interest Law Scholarship. 5, Cassandra Joseph and Family Scholarship. And 6, the Martin Chin Law Scholarship. So if you are a new donor, I know you've stood already, but please stand and wave again if you're able to be recognized. I'll stand. Let's give them all a round of applause. From the depths of our heart, On behalf of the entire Georgia State University College of Law community, we thank you. Now, we will hear from more of our amazing, well-accomplished, and so eloquent students. You next will hear from law student Katie Moss, the recipient of the Marjorie Fine Knowles Endowed Scholarship. Let's please invite and welcome Katie to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Reed, the Georgia State Law community, and especially our donors. My name is Katie Moss. I'm a second-year law student, and I would love to share with you all today the impact that the Marjorie Fine Knowles Endowed Scholarship has made in my life. For most of my life, I never even dreamed of becoming a lawyer. Such a thing seems so lofty. But I've always been so lucky as to have a family and a community that supports me more than I sometimes feel I deserve. I grew up not too far from here in Lawrenceville for the first half of my life. My parents, Margaret and Bob, and my 3 younger sisters. My dad was a teacher and coached football and baseball, and my mom was an industrial engineer. But once my 3rd sister arrived, she decided to stay home and coach our local swim team. I never gave much thought to the communities we were always immersed in: sports, schools, church, neighbors. Those friendships and bonds I often took for granted. I lost my mom to cancer in 2009, and those communities showed up for my family in our darkest time. They put food on our table, drove us all over the state because, of course, not one of our 4 sisters could do the same sport. Classmates helped us catch up on schoolwork we missed. We were cradled by friends and families, as well as acquaintances and sometimes even strangers. I was so inspired by the outpouring of love that we received that I felt the need to do something with my life in service of my community. This first led me to the military. I joined the Army as an explosive ordnance disposal officer. The job was what it sounds like. We eliminated explosive hazards, both stateside and abroad. It was a difficult job, mentally and physically, and also posed unique challenges as a woman. Sometimes the environment was hostile and even scary. I was, however, very lucky to have a wonderful platoon of 7 men who I deployed with in 2019 in support of Special Operations Command Africa. During this time, the 3 teams and my platoon sergeant were spread across different countries in Northwest Africa. I was embedded with the task force in Germany, where besides doing battlefield circulation, I spent most of my time. I missed my soldiers, and I looked forward to every time I got to see them or even talk to them on the phone, even though they didn't always have good news. It was actually during this time that I decided to try to become a lawyer. All 8 of us returned home towards the end of 2019 in desperate need of a break. And spoiler alert, 2020 would not offer a break. In January of 2020, with building tensions in Iraq and Iran, my husband had to go on a no-notice deployment. And my best friend and one of the only other women in my battalion did as well. My platoon was gathered around the same time and told that in spite of the fact that we just got home, we were on standby to possibly go as well. But a few days later, I found out I was pregnant. And a few weeks after that, we started getting news reports of this crazy new virus that was supposedly really contagious. 2020 quickly became a really scary and really lonely time. The LSAT study books I had ordered sat on my kitchen table, untouched for some time. It didn't seem like I was going to be a lawyer after all. This was another low point, but obviously I ended up here. Once again, my friends and family showed up and supported me on my healing journey, entering into motherhood, and they even inspired me to eventually pick up those LSAT books. A lot of veterans don't receive the help that they need. According to the VA, there are over 35,000 unhoused veterans. The ACLU estimates that more than 180,000 veterans are incarcerated. And finally, reports vary, but roughly 17 to 24 veterans commit suicide every day. I know I'm lucky to be here, and I hope to use my degree to help some of my fellow veterans. Receiving the Marjorie Fine Knowles Scholarship has allowed me to pursue not only my dream to become an attorney, but to continue to serve my community. Marjorie, for those of you who don't know, was a trailblazer. I highly recommend to my fellow classmates to look her up using your search engine of choice. Among some of her extremely high achievements, she was the first woman dean of a law school in Georgia, right here at Georgia State College of Law. Under her, the school saw unprecedented numbers of women and minority enrollment. I think about her often. I think about the culture that I faced in the Army, and I'm so grateful to her and others like her that changed the culture not only at Georgia State, but in the legal profession. To Professor Mary Radford, Marjorie's colleague and dear friend, thank you so much for sharing some of your memories with me, of her with me. Thank you for honoring Marjorie with a scholarship in her name. I cannot think of a more beautiful way to keep her memory and legacy alive. And I'm so eternally grateful to be entrusted with her legacy through the endowment scholarship. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It's truly an honor to stand before you today. My name is Destiny Kimani, and I am both a first-year student here at Georgia State Law and a recipient of the Beth Tanis and John Chandler Endowed Scholarship. I grew up in a Kenyan and Jamaican family, and a fundamental principle instilled in our home was living a life dedicated to service. At the age of 15, I found myself captivated by the ability to advocate for marginalized individuals through the power of the law, which sparked in me a profound aspiration to become an attorney. Today, I find the early realization of this dream both humbling and profoundly significant. I'm immensely grateful for the opportunity to study at GSU Law, and I would like to take a moment to express my deepest appreciation to Mrs. Beth Tanis for her incredible contributions to the legal field and for her generosity in empowering the next generation of lawyers. Mrs. Tanis's illustrious career, marked by her roles at King & Spalding and Evershed Sutherland, speak volumes about her dedication to the pursuit of justice. Her tenure at the Legal Aid Society in Louisville, Kentucky, demonstrated a genuine passion for serving those in need. I am inspired by Mrs. Tanis's extensive involvement in various organizations, such as chairing the boards of the ACLU of Georgia, Families First, Georgia Appleseed, the Howard School, and our very own Georgia State University College of Law's Board of Visitors. These roles showcase her commitment to making a positive impact in our communities. It is evident that she believes in the power of education and advocacy as tools for social change. Mrs. Tanis's work on pro bono cases, including litigation on behalf of detainees at Guantanamo Bay and veterans denied disability benefits through the VA, reflect a deep sense of duty to those who are often marginalized or overlooked. As a recipient of the Beth Tanis and John Chandler Endowed Scholarship, I am grateful for your family's investment in my pursuit of a legal education. I am inspired by your legacy, and I pledge to carry forward your commitment to justice, equality, and public service throughout my legal career. Once again, thank you, Mrs. Tanis, for your generosity and dedication to shaping the next generation of lawyers. Please help me welcome Mrs. Beth Tanis.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm delighted to be here at what I always consider a festive, just upbeat event. The title of what I'm supposed to talk about is Why I Give. And I don't really think I should say anything other than, isn't it obvious when we see these students, when we hear about the students that are being educated, the opportunity, the things that they are going to do with their careers, where they come from. It is a remarkable group of students. And I also say this, having been to many of these lunches and to many other events where I get to interact with Georgia State students, and I always walk away with the same impression of what an extraordinary law school this is. I could just kind of ad lib now and keep going because I am so inspired by this. And I am so inspired by the difficulties that so many students overcome. I'm so moved by Katie's remarks. And I find myself having this reaction over and over and over again in a way that I don't think is necessarily typical of law students. And if there is bottom line reason that I give to this law school, that John and I give to this law school, it's the quality of the students, the dedication of the staff, and the excellence of the faculty who are here. So it's easy. This is an easy choice for John and me. I don't know of any better way to spend the money that we have been able to make through law than to pay it forward, and to pay it forward in such an extraordinary group of talent that we have here. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself and where I came from, which also informs our decision to donate to scholarships here. My husband, John Chandler, and I are both lawyers, as you know. We both spent our careers in big law. We're both trial lawyers, and we specialized in trying complex financial fraud cases. I was a very unlikely candidate myself for big law. I was frankly an unlikely candidate for law at all. I am the daughter of a man who was first-generation immigrant. My dad's parents emigrated from Eastern Europe, and he grew up as one of 11 children in his household. My mother's father had a 6th grade education. That's as far as he got. And neither of my parents went to college. So I'm first-generation college, and I am the first lawyer in my family. When I went to law school, I didn't know any lawyers. I had no connections whatsoever. My parents, and I would say my dad because we're going back a ways in history, but my parents weren't corporate people. Nobody had even worked in a company. They had a little mom and pop business. So I was unlikely to be able to achieve a law degree, a law career, much less in big law. Add to the equation that I graduated from law school in 1982. There weren't very many women in law school then, and there certainly weren't very many women in big law, to say nothing of how few women there were who actually had gone on to make partners in big law. When I went to law school, I had no idea about the world and the opportunities that would be presented to me by virtue of taking the career path that I made. And I also realized that career path, going to law school and then going in, and some of this is big law because it's lucrative, but whatever the law would have been, also changed the trajectory not only for me, but for my children and my grandchildren, and provided them opportunities that otherwise wouldn't be available. So being a lawyer, as we know, is a high calling. Our clients entrust us with their greatest vulnerabilities, including existential vulnerabilities that they have. We need to have a deep understanding of the law. We need to be zealous advocates, while at the same time understanding that we have a duty of candor to the court and that we have other professional obligations. Being a lawyer requires a strong and unerring moral compass. It has to be the kind of moral compass that allows you to say no to a client who is pressuring you to say yes. It's the moral compass that enables you to tell a judge things about your case that may weaken the case when you're asked to do so. It's to be upfront, to be honest. Now, the law school that you go to has a huge impact on your ability to practice law ethically and your ability to practice law well. Neither John nor I went to GSU Law School, so you might wonder why it is that we choose to invest in GSU law students. And the reason is simple for us. It's simple to us because this law school encompasses everything that matters to us. It's unique in providing an excellent legal education to an unusually diverse student body. And that's a combination that I think is extraordinarily rare. For John and me, the importance of this cannot be overstated. And it's not just because everyone should have the same opportunity and access that we had to be part of this profession. It's also because the legal profession desperately needs to be diversified. For clients to be well represented, for Americans to have faith in our legal system, for the legal profession to thrive, the diversity of the legal profession must reflect the diversity of Americans. We also love this law school because of its urban setting and because it takes advantage of this urban setting. The adjunct faculty, the clinics, the internship opportunities, the moot court and trial practice exercises all provide students with practical, on-the-job lawyering skills. And as an aside, let me tell every student in this room, avail yourself of all of these opportunities. I can't begin to impress upon you the enormous leg up these will give you when you actually go into a law firm or whatever legal path you pursue. So with all that this law school offers, and with the deep commitment that John and I have to the legal profession and to making this profession accessible to all, John and I have every confidence that our money is going to extraordinary use. And every time I meet a Georgia State law student, I am more committed to that than ever. So thanks to all of you for giving us this reason to give, and we are making a great investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth, for those inspiring remarks on why you give and continue to give. And a huge thanks to you and John for your unwavering support. Good afternoon, everyone. I am, I guess, considered the closer, right, Patrice? And I'm Cass Joseph, the Assistant Vice President of Development and proud creator of the Cassandra Joseph and Family Endowed Scholarship at Georgia State University College of Law. Today marks my 9th month of employment at Georgia State, and I'm so excited to be with you all today. I've made it 9 months. With another round of applause, I ask the audience to join me in thanking our program participants, Dean Reed, Patrice Williams, Lucien Lupetin, Joseph Rios, Katie Moss, Destiny Kamani, and Beth Tanis. Thank you all. To our student participants, thank you for representing Georgia State College of Law and your fellow scholarship recipients with distinction. I'd also like to thank another group of people for their hard work and effort to create this wonderful event, for whom you know there's not just one person, it takes many people to make an event like this happen and to be successful. Patrice, Aditya, Kiara, Emily, Nell, Miles, and the communications teams and business and finance teams, thank you all for making this event happen. And thanks to all of you, our scholarship recipients and our donors who traveled from near and far to be here today to honor the tradition of publicly recognizing and introducing our scholarship donors to their recipients, making the match. So, as you have heard, your generosity allows us to recruit the brightest students and to make the Georgia State Law experience accessible and affordable. Your contributions also provide students with exceptional academic, research, and experiential learning experiences that equip them for their chosen careers and enable them to serve our local and global communities. The impact of your support through giving helps the College of Law fulfill our strategic priorities. Your gifts of scholarship are an investment of the transformative power of a Georgia State University College of Law education and degree. So as I close, I have a call to action. To our donors, please continue to make annual contributions to grow and increase the award amounts given to students. To those in the room who would like to hear more about how you can create scholarships, support students, faculty support, student success, bar prep, and Georgia State University's Fund for Law, which goes to the greatest needs of the college, Patrice and I will be working the room. And we look forward to connecting with you. Everyone, as I close, let's not underestimate the power of us working together collaboratively. Let's continue to invest. Let's continue to open doors of opportunity for promising men and women who are taking the leap to attend law school, who may not otherwise be able to complete their degrees if not for our philanthropy. Please know that the gift of scholarships, whether endowed or for current use, will be a critical component of the College of Law's financial aid program. And we are enormously grateful for you for all of your support. Thank you again for investing in our students and furthering the mission of Georgia State College of Law in an impactful way. Now, please continue to enjoy each other's company, and we look forward to staying connected with you in the future. Be blessed.